Hey, so let's get started. Introduce yourselves and talk about, I guess, just share a little bit about the band, what you guys consider yourselves to be musically, I guess, like genre-wise, and we'll go from there.
So I'm Tim. I sing and play bass, primary lyric writer.
I'm Brian. I play the drums. That's about it.
Yeah, and I'm Mike. I play guitar and sing, and Tim and I have been in bands for a long time together, on and off, since since I was probably 18, and what you just finished college or so. And we actually met. We were in a Bible study group together at church, where he was like the Bible study leader, and we kind of hit it off playing music. We've been on and off for years, but this particular group's been going on, what, about a year and a half, 2 years?
2 years, a little over 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it probably started from our love. All of us kind of love like early 2000s indie rock, emo, stuff like that. Found some commonality between the music that we like. It's just fun to play.
Yeah.
Interesting. I run into the early 2000s thing quite a bit, indie rock and emo thing. Have you heard of Grandpa Loves Rhinos?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're both of ours. Yep.
They said the same thing. They said that they're way influenced by that as well. So interesting. So what do you guys consider yourselves genre-wise? I mean, where would you lump yourselves, I guess?
It's really hard to judge your own music. I guess a lot of the comparisons we get are like Saosin and Taking Back Sunday, that kind of stuff. I guess probably because I have a high voice, I guess, for the Saosin comparison. But then for the back and forth stuff that me and Mike do is kind of Taking Back Sunday-ish. I don't know, maybe you can help us. We always have trouble with that.
No, I completely agree with you. I agree with you completely. I just wanted to get an idea of where you're coming from, as far as like influentially and such. Yeah, I would definitely say Taking Back Sunday, the Saosin, which is interesting because I just interviewed somebody else who was talking, Before Their Eyes. I just interviewed him and he was saying the same thing about Saosin. How long have you been together?
It's just over 2 years. We actually met Brian through Craigslist. Mike and I were looking for a drummer. He was the first one that responded. He came and practiced with us, and he had learned all the drum parts from our previous band. So we basically played a set the first time we met him.
He's in.
Wow. Okay.
Like, I guess we can take the ad down.
Right. Were you playing live before the apocalypse happened?
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of family guys, so we don't play out a whole lot, but we try to play once or twice a month.
Okay.
At the local places around Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Virginia.
Okay. Oh yeah, tell everybody where you're from.
We're from Virginia. We claim Virginia Beach. We're from all over the place, but
Southeast Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're in 3 different areas. Brian's in Virginia Beach, so that's what we claim because people have heard of that.
Right. So I guess you're all married.
No,
Might as well be.
Well, you just said that your family. So
we all have families of some sort.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask some questions. They might be a little weird for you because some of them, it's my whole shtick, I guess you would say, is questioning musicians about movie and comic book stuff and questioning actors about music stuff. So it's kind of like I'm trying to throw some curveballs at you and do some different stuff. First question would be, who's your favorite comic book character if you do that sort of thing, and why?
And right now, I have to say Black Panther. With all the stuff going on, I've just been consuming so much media related to Black Panther that's in the forefront of my mind. I was also really big into X-Men when I was a kid, and Nightcrawler was always my favorite.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, I honestly don't know too much about comic books, but I did get into the Coheed and Cambria graphic novel type thing he does. Yeah. I don't have a favorite character or anything from that, but I always thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Okay. All right. That's interesting. That's the first time I've heard somebody say that. So that's impressive. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. For me, I haven't seen that many of the newer comic book movies and stuff. I haven't kept up with it. But when I was a kid, I loved X-Men, and Wolverine was always my favorite. Yeah.
Cool. Well, the one person that I always hear Spider-Man, I didn't get this time. So congratulations to you guys.
I grew up hating Spider-Man just because he's like, I don't know, like Superman or Batman. It's like the ones that everyone knows, everyone loves. And I always wanted to be kind of different, I guess. But I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think he does an amazing job, and he's just really likable. Like the dynamic between him and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is like, it's really good.
Right.
So.
Not that I'm unimpressed with you guys, but the Coheed guy.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that book? Because I haven't read it.
It's an entire series. He has like, I don't want to guess, but he has a lot of different graphic novels and comic books. But I'm just a fan of the band, and it follows the storyline, so I thought it'd be cool to read.
Interesting.
Visual, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, share the name of that for people that might not know it. The book.
Yeah, I think the entire series is called The Amory Wars.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people could check it out. I guess the next question would be, and this one always stumps everybody, so just pick something and go with it if you need to, unless you just know for sure. Who is your favorite band or musician, and why?
That is tough.
The first thing that comes, I'll just go with the first thing that comes to mind. Matt Pryor and the Get Up Kids are way up there for me. Yeah, I grew up listening to them, and he's so prolific with all that he's done with New Amsterdam's, and he's got other side projects too. Radar State, I think, is one of them. But yeah, I just love his writing style. The fact that he pumps out all those songs and they all have hooks, and I don't know, it's just impressive to me.
Right. Interesting. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, it used to be the Mars Volta, but they aren't a band anymore. And I was just really into their drummer because he's incredible, John Theodore. But lately, I've been really getting into Depeche Mode, which is an entire different spectrum. But
cool. Okay.
I love it. I love it how it sounds. I'm really into synth right now. I don't know why.
That's pretty cool. I'm in an industrial band.
Oh, cool.
Well, I totally get it. So,
right.
Yeah. Do you like the stuff like Erasure?
Yeah.
Or is that a little too soft for you?
Yeah. I just picked up a New Order record the other day. That was pretty cool.
I love that too. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that's cool. Okay. I'm getting some different answers with you guys. So this is cool. I like this. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have like one consistent all-time favorite, but one that's been a big influence for me over the years has been the band 238. They're old Tooth and Nail band, and there's a guy in that band, Chris Staples, and he's a good songwriter, and he's had a couple different side projects and stuff. I like him, and I also was way obsessed with Me Without You for too long. So they're still a great band, and so probably those are the top two for me.
Right. Have you seen
name too? That's not fair.
Yeah.
I also want to name Further Seems Forever is one of my favorites also. It doesn't matter who they have singing for them. The musicianship is just incredible. We try to like channel some of that in our songs too. So I think they're one of the influences, at least with me and Mike. You like them too? Right?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Cool. Have you heard, I know it's kind of, well, no, that's strong arm. My mind went to Focus for some weird reason when you said something about Further Seems Forever. Have you heard the guy from Focused? He in Stavesacre. He has a new indie rock band.
Yeah, I had Focused and Stavesacre albums back in the day, but I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, Mark Solomon or that guy?
No, Dirk, the bass player, Dirk.
Oh, okay.
He's in a new band with some other guys from some different indie rock bands. I'm trying to think of what it is. If you look up his Facebook stuff, he talks about it in there.
Cool.
But it's good stuff. You should check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll email you the name of the band. I just can't think of it right now. Okay, cool. Movies. Let's cover that real quick. Favorite movie and why?
I have an immediate answer. If you want me to go first again.
Yeah, we can keep the same order. That way
Go first.
My favorite is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Cool. Okay.
All-time favorite. It's kind of like, it's cool. I was big in like Greek mythology as a kid, and it's like the Odyssey that's set in the rural South, and I just love the soundtrack, and I just find like the characters hilarious.
Yeah, interesting. That's good.
I've known you forever, and I don't think I knew that.
Interesting. That's cool. Okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's between They Live and Halloween, but I'll go with Halloween.
Cool.
I like 80s horror movies, and I really like John Carpenter.
Right. What did you think of the new one?
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Surprising. I didn't like Rob Zombie's version, but I really liked the new one.
I liked half of Rob Zombie's movie.
Yeah. Was it the second half?
No. I
You liked the first half.
Well, because it was different. I mean, well,
It
not
is
because it was
different.
different, because it wasn't. The second half to me was a total remake of the first
It
one.
sure was. Yeah, it's the same movie. Yeah.
I did like his second one though, because I thought it was kind of weird for Halloween.
Yeah.
But I love the new one. Halloween, the new one was good.
Really good, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool. All right, go ahead.
My favorite movie is The Princess Bride.
Good choice. Good choice.
Okay. I like
I've seen that movie probably literally 100 times. Like growing up, anytime I was home from school or whatever, it was either that or like the animated Robin Hood.
Oh yeah.
I would watch those two movies constantly.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's endlessly quotable. It's hilarious. There's not really anything truly like it. It's pretty unique. So that's
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. All right. Do you guys, and I think I kind of know the answer to this, but other people won't. Do you think of yourselves as a Christian band or a spiritually influenced band? And how does your Christianity personally influence your careers musically and outside of that, if it does?
I would say that we're definitely spiritually influenced. I think that I try not to write songs specifically about God or like praise songs, that kind of stuff. But I think because I am a Christian, everything that I write is going to have little threads. If you look at the lyrics, there will typically be they're all sad songs, but there will be little kind of threads of hope in most of them. And I think that comes from my background as a Christian. So we're not a Christian band, I wouldn't say, but we are definitely spiritually influenced.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Oh, do you guys want to answer?
I mean, I agree with what he said. I don't write any lyrics, so it's hard for it to come out in my playing. But
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's cool. I didn't know whether you wanted to add something. If you guys want to add something, do you talk about it in a live setting, or do you just kind of let the music speak for itself?
We don't do a whole lot of talking on stage in general. We try. We're still like a fairly small local band. No one wants to like hear us talk for an hour. So we get up there, we play, 5, 6, 7 songs, and we get off the stage pretty quick. Maybe a few jokes while Mike tunes because he broke a string. But other than that, we're on the stage, play our music, and get off. I think I admire bands that are good at that.
Right.
No, that's not our gifting, I would say. But definitely like one-on-one after the show would be where conversations like that would take place for us, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and try to always conduct ourselves in a manner that, you know, represents things well. You know what I mean? Try to be always polite to venue owners and help other bands load gear off stage and just be, you know, let our action show more than anything else.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, we definitely try to be professional and kind. And that has helped us out, like even booking shows, because people will know that we're going to be on time. We're going to be the guys that are kind, like you said, helping out with other bands, etc. So that I think that though we're not on stage preaching or talking about our faith, I think that shines through in our actions for sure.
Cool. Okay. Have you played with anybody big? I don't mean any big, like, I mean, have you know what I'm saying? Have you opened with anybody that you would want to talk about, or has it been local bands that you've played with?
Particular band, we've mostly been playing with local bands. We've played with a couple touring bands like Summer Wars out of North Carolina. Travelers is a pretty big band in our area that our last show that we played before the apocalypse was with them. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, our previous bands have played with, you know, some pretty big acts. Especially like I was doing a lot of shows and touring and stuff like in the early 2000s. I'm older than I look. And like we played with Fall Out Boy and Maroon 5 and stuff like that.
What band was that?
We were called Driving East.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're on the Militia Group.
Yeah, we were post me. We were on the Militia Group. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I was the original bass player, but not the one that like went on and did big things.
Cool. Okay. I did not. Yeah, that I did not know. Okay. Cool. Were Fall Out Boy good then? No, I'm just playing, man. I shouldn't have said that.
I mean, they were honestly kind of jerks at the time. It was like just after they started getting big, and they just complained about the sound the entire set. I mean, I enjoyed them because I'm a fan of that album that they were touring on at the time. I think it was right before From Under the Cork Tree came out. But yeah, that was good. Maroon 5 was the better band of the two.
Under the Cork Tree, From Under the Cork Tree, in my opinion, is one of the best rock, whatever you want to call it, band records ever made. Every single song on that.
I love that album, and I love the one before it. Take This to Your Grave, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love both of those albums. After that, I don't really care, but those two are good.
Yeah, that's where I end with them too as well. From Under the Cork Tree for me is their penultimate, I guess, album. So during this whole COVID thing, I'm sure that you've been writing a lot, I guess. Has it put any kind of damper on the writing process, like in the beginning? Were you guys like kind of like really socially distanced, or did you kind of like just deal with it?
Yeah. For probably a month or two, we kind of stayed away from each other. And then when everyone would realize that, oh, like you're probably fine if you're in your little bubble, we made this a bubble.
Okay.
So yeah, every time we come together, we like write a song pretty much. Like songs come together very quickly for us. I guess being three people, it's easier.
Right.
Plus, me and Mike have been writing songs for so long together that we just know. And Brian very quickly picked up on everything, and we're a pretty cohesive unit now.
Okay. So is anybody else, because for some reason I never asked that question, did anybody else play in any other notable bands before?
No.
I mean, locally, but not like nationally.
Nothing touring or anything like that. Just
yeah, because for some reason I never asked that question, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess tell us a little bit about or what you guys are planning, what you got coming up, and what you have available for listeners right now.
I'm talking too much when you guys talk.
Yeah, well, pretty much during the pandemic, we put out our first official EP,
Okay.
5-song release. It's on Spotify and iTunes and everything.
Yeah.
There. So we had, some release shows set and some hopefully trying to build some momentum going forward, but this kind of pulled the rug out from under us. So right now we're in the writing process. We just got out of the studio and tracked 2 more songs that we're just going through the mixing process right now. But yeah, we're just in a writing phase because that's all we can really work on at this point.
Yeah. And we're kind of doing networking stuff too, trying to get on some Spotify playlists, like you mentioned earlier. Even if find a label maybe to talk to you about putting out we've got probably 10 or 12 more songs that are ready to go. Basically, we just need to get in the studio to do them. So maybe our next release could be on a label of some sort. But yeah, we're just writing and recording every chance we get.
Cool. Okay. So you've got the EP right now.
Yep.
Do you have what are some of your social outlets or whatever you want to call it, your social pages, media pages?
We're everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we're at Red Weather without all of the vowels on all of them. So it's RDWTHR on every single platform.
Cool, okay.
We even have a TikTok that we don't use, but we're there.
Right. Do you have merch or anything, or are you kind of just? Yep. Okay. All right.
If you go to redweather.com without the vowels, again, rdwthr.com, it has every single social media link as well as our merch store. We just put out a couple weeks ago, actually, a new set of merch to coincide with the album release. So there's a bunch of stuff out there.
Are you doing physical copies of stuff, or is it just? Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, we have CDs also.
Cool.
We've been working with a really cool designer that put together an album that we're proud to hold in our hands. So.
All right. Any plans on vinyl?
I wish.
So Brian is a huge vinyl head. All the time.
Everybody with vinyl now, man. So
So expensive to press. We want to do it, but I don't know if it's feasible.
Right.
With the minimum that you have to do and whatnot. And
how many songs do you have right now?
How many what?
How many songs you got right now? Do you have the EP?
5.
5. Yeah, it'd be kind of rough to release that as a vinyl. Yeah.
So our plan going forward is to try to release 1 new single every month for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
So maybe at the end of that, when we have 10 or 15 songs, whatever, recorded, we could think about putting out something that it would make sense to do, like a limited vinyl release at that point.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's basically what our plans are too. I'm old, dude. I'm 48, so I'm probably older than you because you don't look
a little bit.
You don't even look 40, man. But yeah, I'm 48, so me and my buddy, we do industrial stuff, and it's like we're doing a song every 3 months. Just for fun.
Yeah,
that's all. But yeah, I totally understand the whole single thing because that definitely is what keeps you floating now.
Right.
Honestly, we don't really like that model. It's not what we're used to. But staying relevant now in the age of Spotify playlists being the big thing that everyone's chasing, that's really seems to be the way you have to go. So.
You got to admit, though, being the older guy, I guess, I don't want to say that like that and age you, but you have to admit it's a lot easier on your writing.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot less stress than having to do it all at the same time, for sure.
And recording, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can take your time.
So for the EP, we did 2 songs in a couple days. And then we tried to do 3 songs the next time through, and 3 was just too many to try to knock out in a weekend. So we're going back to 2 again from now on.
Remember when you had to record 10 songs in like 4 days?
Yeah.
Did you ever have to do that? Being in your other band?
It's not fun.
Right. Well, great, guys. Is there anything you want to share in closing? Anything that you'd like to tell anybody out there?
We just appreciate your time, and anyone's time who's taking out of their day to watch this. You know, we'd love to interact with anyone who's willing on any of our social medias. So follow us, reach out. If you have a particular song that you like, that would make our day to hear about it. So.
Cool. All right. Oh, you know what? I do want to ask, what if there was one song of yours that you would tell people to check out like right away, the first one, what would it be?
I think that everyone that we've talked to says Nothing at All is their favorite.
Okay.
It's the hookiest of the bunch, I think. So
Okay.
I'd probably start with that one.
How long did it take you to write that? Like the hook?
That one, I wrote a riff that I hated when we came together and played it, and Mike was like, "How about this instead?"
Modified. Yeah.
He basically I'll come with riffs, and he's so much better at guitar than I am that he completely changes it. He has all these like weird, cool chords that he uses that I don't know anything about, and he makes them better. So that one actually took a fair amount of time because we all hated it at first until Mike fixed it. But I mean, a long time for us was like 3 or 4 practices. So nothing is much beyond that.
So check out Nothing at All is the one.
And we've got, like I said, some new singles coming out, one in September and one in October. So if you follow us on Spotify, then it'll let you know when anyone comes out.
All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time.